like to invite Stephen Neilson to come up and say a few words. Stephen Neilson is a 20-year political activist, for small government, extremely involved with the Libertarian Party. He was the former state party secretary and also the state party chairman, I believe, in 2013. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was the 2016 Gary Johnson state campaign coordinator, putting people together and helping run the campaign. He's the first Libertarian to survive in the top 2 Washington State rep race. Washington State, only the top 2 primary candidates get on the ballot. Stephen was the first one to do that for that particular position. He's part of the Libertarian National Committee, and he's a rocket scientist, so I think he knows what he's talking about. So please come up and say a few words if you don't mind. Scarlet, she's my political mascot. So, just like everybody out here, I'm also a family man, and I love bringing my kids up with me. I give them opportunities to give political speeches and to get their time on stage. Is there anything you want to say to everybody? Not yet? Okay, good. Still working on it. There's only 3. So, I like my introduction said, thank you so much. You didn't have to go over that list. I may have fed that to him. Over the last 20 years, I've really been focusing on what are the tools that we need to be successful. And anybody who's in political leadership will know that one of the biggest questions that you get asked by those folks who are first-timers is, I want to get involved, what can I do? And at the state party, and even as we were trying to create the region, we didn't have a definitive answer. We would do the big picture things. Are you good at web design? Would you like to run for office? Big things that sometimes could be effective, but mostly would scare people away. So what I did is I was collaborating with other libertarians across the nation, and I put together a 40-page manual, a PCO manual that David Schrader had referenced before. So this is kind of a capstone of my 3 years here with the Libertarian Party. And what this is, it's a tool that we can put in the hand of, are we dancing? It's a tool that we can put in the hand of that person who is stepping out into that political arena for the first time. I want to get involved. How can I get involved? If everybody has a copy of this with them at all times, if we can just put this in somebody's hand and say the first thing that you need to do is just turn page 1, right? The first 2 pages are thank you letters. Thank you so much for asking how you want to get involved, all right? And then the next one is, thank you again, but by the way, you're probably going to be the only libertarian in your area for a while. And then everything after that is just an organization. Write down your why. Put it in a notebook. Keep that notebook on your shelf and open up that notebook and all of those action items underneath it. But I want that why in there first so that you remind yourself every single time that you open up that book why you got involved. Were you angry about an election? Were you angry about the car tax? What is that, ST3 you guys are paying for out here, right? It's an extra $200 a year. I have not seen one person that's happy about that. But there's going to be something, some trigger, something that sets you off, right? And I want our members to remind themselves so that they don't go away. Because for political activists, for engaged political activists, there's about a 7-year lifespan. I don't know how I've survived 20 years. But for folks who aren't super gung-ho, that lifespan can be a lot shorter, especially if there's no direction. So what I wanted to do was provide direction. And if you read through this, the big kicker at the end is a note, a pre-formed note that just says, hi, I'm your Libertarian Precinct Committee officer. And you print out 1,000 of these, and it says, by the way, I don't care what your political affiliation is. If you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, doesn't matter. What do you care about in our community? What do you want to change right here in our neighborhood? Are we part of a homeowners association? What do we want to do? And you start that political dialogue at the local level. Don't worry about the big level, the big state level, the federal government, things like that. The way that you build that grassroots organization is getting to know your neighbors. Once you can establish that relationship, then you can move to the next street over. And then you can move to the next county over. Then you've got the state, and then we've got the nation. I'm going to talk numbers real fast. I ran for office in 2014, And I pulled in about 30% of the vote in a head-to-head race against J.T. Wilcox, who, by the way, also, we were talking about Republicans coming and talking. J.T. says, hi to everybody and good luck. So, and for those of you who don't know who J.T. is, he's the most powerful Republican in the state house. So, and he was my opponent, and I earned his respect by running against him. So when you run clean campaigns, you earn the respect of your opponent. But this last year, I ran for Commissioner of Public Lands. And in a 7-way race in the primary, I pulled in about 64,000 votes. So let's talk about what that means. There are 7,500 precincts in Washington state. And we know in a 7-way race where folks had an opportunity to vote for 5 different Democrats or 1 Republican, 64,000 people voted Libertarian. That means there are at least 64,000 Libertarians in Washington state. We only need 10% of that to have 100% saturation for precincts. And if we can get that, I believe the Republicans in the state are about 45%. So when you're talking about something that we can measure directly against the Democrats and against the Republicans, like how many PCOs we can get saturated in our county, we can actually say whether or not we're the #1 party, #2, or #3 in the state. So it's not required now, but it's highly recommended that we use a tool to organize those grassroots efforts, organize our communities, organize our streets and our neighborhoods, so that we can come together and start being more organized and growing, getting those 64,000 people to turn into 164,000 people, to turn into 264,000 people, and then we win. We are so close. We heard about momentum. We heard about these opportunities, big potential. If we get the organization, if we stick to the tools, and we work the numbers 1 voter at a time, that momentum is going to pay off. Whether it's 2018, whether it's 2020, we are the party that is thriving and growing while the other 2 are dying. So please, if you haven't had an opportunity to take a look at the precinct manual, we have a copy of it up here. We also have PDF copies that I've sent you that we can distribute to everybody who's left their email address. Print it off, go through it, and start your precinct manual. Whether it's you and your wife and you're in your house and you're going to split up your neighborhood, write down your own why. Write down your strengths, write down your weaknesses, go through all the tools, stay engaged in your community, continue to find other like-minded individuals, folks who want to get engaged, and we will win. Thank you very much.